In this video, I'm going to show you how to put on your basic fin fillet on your model rockets. Hi, I'm Tim Van Milligan from Apogee Components. Whenever you're starting out with rocketry, you have to learn the basic techniques. And one of the most basic things is putting a fin fillet on your fins to keep them attached. Now, on this rocket right here, I have the fins glued on. But if you look closely at it, it's a very sharp edge, and sometimes when you're gluing it on, you don't get enough glue underneath to make sure that it's completely filled. And that's what we want to do in the most basic fin fillet technique. So you're going to use wood glue, and I like wood glue because it can be waterproof, and this says interior use, but you want to find one that says exterior use because it is going to be outdoors, and you might get it, a little bit moist because if it lands in wet grass, it's going to get on your rocket. But the technique is the same. So first we're going to take our glue bottle, and we're just going to run a bead of glue. It's a thin bead of glue along the edge, just like that. I like to do all the fins at the same time, so I'll just take my glue bottle and just run it along. And you can see here that I got a little gap, but that's okay, because we're going to probably take about 80 to 90% of this off. So you're just going to take your finger and then just run it along the joint like that, and you can see I've taken off a lot of glue. Just have some paper towels handy and just wipe that off. And you can see how nice that looks right now. And then as you drag on this one, it filled in that excess, that little gap right there. And then you really have to be careful and make sure you get around the front edge too. And this one's a little bit harder because it has an angle to it. But you want to get glue in all the crevices. So again, it's a real simple technique. Just take your glue bottle, run it along there. And if you have a little gap, don't worry about it because there's so much glue on there that it's going to fill that gap. And you're just going to take it and wipe it off, and that makes it nice and uniform. You don't have to squeegee really hard. You just kind of want to gently just drag it across like that. And then make sure you come around that front edge and on the back edge as well. To wipe that off, and if there's any excess, just wipe it off. It helps to have a damp paper towel because as you're squeegeeing it out, it's getting thinner and thinner, and once it's really thin, it dries fairly fast, at least here in Colorado. All right, so the last one's right here. All right, so that looks pretty good, and when it dries, oops, now this one here does have a little gap. So if you notice any little gap, just kind of rub your finger along it, just to make sure that you have a nice even line of glue right there. Okay, so that is how you put on the basic fin fillet. Now this is for small model rockets. On bigger rockets like this one here, I would probably put down a secondary line of glue to try to build up some thickness. And then on high power rockets, we'll probably want to use an epoxy fillet because at that point, now we need to add some strength to make sure that these fins don't come off. So my name is Tim Van Milligan. You've been watching the Apogee Rocketry Workshop. May the winds be light, may the skies be blue, and may all your rockets fly straight and true.